Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another live stream on the channel.
You're a prat, Nappers, you are. Amateur hour. Fleetwood get relegated, and this is what comes to it, is it?
Right. Hello, lads and ladies. Welcome back. League One Live, 21st of April. 1 week left of the Sky Bet League One season. We had relegations. We had top 6 confirmation this week. We also might have top 2 confirmation. We are back discussing the latest ongoings in Sky Bet League One. If you can see and hear me, let me know in the chat down below. But before we do so, let's bring him in. Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good day in Cheltenham yesterday.
Yes, mate. Dressed up for the races as you found me on the highlights. No, it was good, mate. It was good. It was a nice win. Back into the playoff spots in our hands, etc., etc. We're looking forward to the final day now. It's going to be a long week, I think, for me, Ben. It's maybe not going to be for you, but this week at work is going to be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello to the United kid, Lincoln City guy. He's here, isn't he?
No, I'm that Lincoln City fella.
Oh, what can we say? Tony's done it. Shameless plug. The behind the scene members video dropped today. He's excellent and well worth watching. If you consider subscribing now. So yeah, I uploaded my 6th video this week for the 6th. I think they've done 7 weeks worth of videos. There's 6 out there as well. There's another one coming out later on next week as well. If you fancy, parting with a little bit of money, $1.99 for 4 extra pieces of content. Every bit of money that you earn from it goes back to software like StreamYard, microphones, etc. as well. And
great camera work from Tony, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And also tissues, because the one that Sue gave me I've run out through wiping my tears yesterday. So if you fancy subs, the link is down below. We've currently got 50. Well, I think we've got 52 members, but 42 monthly members that pay monthly and that haven't been gifted. So if you fancy a little bit of extra content, it would be much appreciated. Go down there and join up as well. My team is relegated now. Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Top class goals from Joe Taylor and Freddie Draper. Very good goals. Goal of the day candidates. Hello, welcome down. Hope you're well, mate. Lincoln came out better. Second half deserved to win. Yes, Nappers, big love. Thank you very much. Hello, Sue. Hope you're well. Love the outfit yesterday.
Tonight, isn't it?
Good evening. I do hope you're feeling okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. Hope you're well, mate. Hoping we win and someone slips up from a Blackpool fan. Will be good to see Blackpool and Lincoln in the playoffs again. Yeah, Blackpool will be going, if they win, they've obviously win the game, haven't they, realistically? It'll be 5 wins on the bounce and they'll be going with some good form. Evening, everyone. Hello. I'm a bit tired, I must admit. My legs, well, I did half marathon today. I don't like mentioning it, but I did an half marathon in 1 hour.
Move your head as well, look. Did they know that you came second in the Football Content Awards as well?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah. This is what hopefully Lincoln will be getting for you in the playoff final.
A medal in a playoff final, absolutely.
Yeah. A silver one. But yeah, done. Make me legs are in bits, PB, and that's what we like to see it. Thank you very much. Driest match I've seen, 100%. Should we go for it then?
Where do you want to start, mate? That's the question. What are we
doing? Anywhere. We could realistically start anywhere. We're going to go. We'll get the irrelevant games out of the way quickly. 1 hour, power hour. Believe me, done. I don't physically feel like I've got the voice or any words left to say anymore. Northampton now, I've lost 4 of the last 7, Jake, but 3 wins in there. All those victories have come at home, but they lost yesterday. So a good exercise that are unbeaten in 9, winning 6 of which. A great win for them. Will Aimson getting the winning goal, getting his 5th goal of the season. Big win for them, 61 points and into the top 12.
Yeah, really impressive Exeter in recent weeks. I've been speaking to Tom Pacello of the Park Life podcast. He says he's not been able to figure out, not quite put his finger on what the turnaround's been, but they're really grateful that they stuck with Gary Colwell. I think they're reaping the rewards of that now. I think that would be justified with a top 10 finish if they beat Oxford on the final day. Then there is every chance that they can overtake Leyton Orient and finish in that side, that top 10, which for Exeter, if you'd have said that maybe October, November, you said Exeter are going to finish top 10, they probably would have bit your arm off. So yeah, Northampton, like you say, pretty cosy now. They know they're going to be here next year, but I think it was a good occasion for Mark Leonard and Kieran Bowie as well to play the last game at Sixfields. But yeah, Exeter coming out on top on this one.
Absolutely so. If you do as well can't comment, all you need to do is subscribe and you can join in with all the live chat as well. A massive thank you as well for 14,000 subscribers. As soon as the video went out, about 3 minutes later, I hit it. It was there like, I don't know, a bit like a crap sandwich, really. I've got the Fleetwood, relegation. I had 14,000 subscribers, which was a nice fill-in. And then I had to go on T-Lop and do this show tonight, talking about it all, which, I'll be honest with you.
T-Lop. You love T-Lop. You made it.
I do, and I do and I don't right now, mate. We'll go to Charlton now. Stat for you. Charlton have drawn 10 of the 15 games under Nathan Jones. They've got 20 draws all season. They've got 22 points under Nathan Jones with 4 wins and 10 draws in their last 14. So unbeaten since Reading away. But 6 of their 10 draws have all been 1-1. They remind me very much of Portsmouth last year, where a managerial change in the middle of the season. Well, again, a good experienced manager has come in. Also yesterday, I'm going to fog your memory back. George Dobson scored his second goal of the season. When did he score his first, Jake?
George Dobson.
Because there's a quote from you on this channel that me and you had a bit of an argument about. Do you remember or not?
Oh, I don't remember what I had for dinner.
He scored on the opening day in a 1-0 win, and you went...
Oh, I said he should have given it 12 May. Yes, I did. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so...
but he's not going to score any more goals at the Valley for Charlton, is he? Because he's off to Hungary on holiday.
No, I think he'll stay. Yeah?
Okay.
I think full credit, by the way, to Shrewsbury, for getting 2 valuable points this week away at Bolton and Charlton. Yep. No one really gave him a sniff, and Dan Udo scored his 8th and 9th goal this week, and Jordan Shipley scored a screamer away at Bolton. He's a bit like Lewis Wing, isn't he? And Sonny Carey only scores worldies, it seems. It's a good point for Shrewsbury, and a point that saw them mathematically safe for another year, and I think this is their 10th year in League One. Just hopefully it's not like other clubs in League One celebrating their 10th year this year.
Well, have you gone down, Ben? Results went for, the big result that Shrewsbury need to go their way went their way at Whaddon Road, didn't it? Which meant that a point was mathematically enough for them. I think you have to give Paul Hurst the credit. He would have come in with the remit of keep Shrewsbury in League One, and he's been able to do that with a game to spare. It's not been pretty, but he's not working with a group that he's put together. So I'm going to be intrigued to see how Shrewsbury come up next year. I think their recruitment with a director of football and Paul Hurst, who is a man's manager, do you know what I mean? In terms of he's very much an old school manager. Intrigued to see how that works. But Charlton, John Ben, you say Charlton remind you a lot of Portsmouth. They remind me a lot of Lincoln from last season, bar the managerial changes. We drew 20 games last year, which is what they've done. Drew a lot of games 1-1. And you're looking at Charlton this for the upcoming 24-25 campaign, Ben, and say, well, if Charlton can win, turn maybe 10 of those draws into wins, and they'll be up near the playoffs. And he said it about Lincoln last year, Ben, and look what's happened. So, yeah, potentially. But yeah, it was I think Charlton will be disappointed with it with just a point. But yeah, they'll be in League One. They'll be a different animal under Nathan Jones, and just give massive credit to both of those clubs. They've definitely turned the corner.
Yeah, Wycombe got a great result away at Carlisle United. Wycombe have now won 6 of the last 9, drawing 2, only losing to Portsmouth at Adams Park in that run. Carlisle's 14th home defeat of the season, and it'll be their last. 15 points from the other 9 games collected as well. Not a great season. They'll need to bounce back next season with Paul Simpson at the helm. Wycombe have 3 shots on target and had 3 goals. One of the goals was comical defending. A Bolton fan basically went, this is what we're relying on to try and, give us a miracle. And Bolton have to do their job as well. Luke Leahy's 16 goal contributions for that man. Wycombe ending the season positively.
Yes. Yeah, good winner for Wycombe. I think it was, I wouldn't say going to Carlisle is almost a guaranteed result, but it feels like going to Brunton Park almost is a guaranteed result. Hey?
I like going to our place.
Well, it was as bad as going to the Pirelli before yesterday. What did they lost something like? Did they lose 8 on the bounce, 7 on the bounce?
You could do 100 mile in a 30 mile an hour in Fleetwood, and you're still more likely to get 3 points on your license at Fleetwood than you are in
absolutely.
car.
Yeah, no, I can confirm that because I have driven in Fleetwood. I thought they were comfortable. Wycombe, they didn't have to get out of second gear. They've ended the season pretty strongly, haven't they, Wycombe? A couple of wins on the bounce. I remember it all sort of turned around just before Wembley when they beat Wigan. And they've got some good players, like you say, Leahy, Potts, who I don't think will come back to them next year. They've got the foundations. And I think this good run of form. You always say to teams that you want to see them end the season positively, and Wycombe, I think, are doing that at the moment. And they can win on their final day. I can't remember who for the love of me they're playing, but if they win, they can finish in the top 10, Ben, similar to Exeter and to Wigan as well. So it's going to be interesting, but fair play to Wycombe. That defending for the Carlisle, the goal was horrific, wasn't it, Ben? It was schoolboy. But that's been the massive issue for them all season. And it'll happen time and time and time again. But yes, we'll see them in a couple of years, I think, Carlisle. I think they'll be back. They'll be back sooner than we think.
A big thank you to Daniel Jackson. Get yourself a pint, play up Pompey. Congratulations on promotion. Thank you so much for the donation. It means a lot. We'll come to some more comments as well. Yeah, if you could like the stream as well, that'd be massively appreciated as well. Up the League One podcast. Yeah, that League One podcast is changing in some thought. Obviously, with a relegation, a potential promotion, and a promotion. You know, he couldn't have gone any bloody better for me this season. Yeah,
it's the best storyline. I don't think when we set out to do the podcast at the start of the year, we couldn't have written it better ourselves.
We all knew that. I kind of knew, well, right, Fleetwood are going to be in the bottom 6. Oxford will be in the top 8. Lincoln will be in the top 10, and Portsmouth will be in the top 2. That's kind of what I thought of in the race. I thought Lincoln will be in the top 10, top 8 race, just outside the playoffs. And then, as you always go, it's improvement, isn't it? It's improvement. No. Where should we go next to, Jakey? Where should we go next to?
Should we do the bottom 4? We'll
go Portsmouth. We'll get Portsmouth because that's the only other game that didn't really have anything to play for. John Messinio's Boozy Blues unfortunately lost at home to Wigan Athletic. A stat via Katie here. Wigan Athletic, 16 points from a possible 18 away from home against the top 6. Against the bottom 6, 2 points from 6 games. Losing to Fleetwood in there, beating Carlisle. You know, it's not been a great period away from them. But they've won 19 games this season. I think that's only 2 less than Barnsley, 1 less than Lincoln. They've had a really good season. Sean Maloney's done a great job in my eyes. It's only Portsmouth's 3rd defeat at home. They won 15, drawn 3. The 3 games they lost were against Blackpool, Leighton Orient, and now Wigan. And the 3 teams that went down and got a point was Cheltenham, Bristol Rovers, and the mighty Fleetwood Town. What was your thoughts on this one?
I thought Portsmouth looked like they've been on the ale for the week before. Obviously, they raced into a 2-goal lead, Wigan, in terms of good finish from Luke Chambers, and then McGuinness puts it in at the Milton end. Not to forget the beach ball that found its way into the back of the net as well, which I thought was pretty comical. Enjoyed the supporters going off there. But yeah, I thought Wigan looked good. That I came to on last week, Ben, a week ago, and I thought Wigan were a decent side. They zipped the ball around really well. Those back 2/3, I think they're immaculate with the way they moved the ball with Asgard and Matt Smith. Marshall Goddo had another interesting afternoon, and I thought they were good again. They did everything in possession, out of possession, really, really well. But Portsmouth, like I said, they look like they've been on the ale. Hopefully, they can continue to celebrate a little bit. But it was nice to see Portsmouth lift the title, wasn't it? Because obviously we're very close with Tom and the 4-0 gang. It was nice to see them have that moment to lift the title, for Pompey boy and Marlon Pack to lift the title as well. It was deservedly so, and hopefully we don't see Portsmouth back at this level for an awfully long time. But you got to give a lot of credit to Wigan, like you say. That stat against the top 6 away from home is incredible. They can beat the bottom teams next year, Ben. Wigan are going to be some force like they usually are in this league, and I would probably say they're one of my early favourites to get in those top 6. So great day for Wigan and for Portsmouth. Well, they don't particularly care, do they?
No, absolutely so. Portsmouth have set high standards all season. Obviously disappointed that they've not got 100 points, but they've never really looked like they're not going to go up. They've had a couple of blips, but they've always bounced back, and that's what I like about them. We'll go to the playoff race, and where I think your eyes might prick up a little bit. We'll go to Blackpool, who did get a great win yesterday. That's 4 wins in a row for Blackpool. They haven't lost at home since November 28th. They've had 12 games, won 8, drawn 4, 14 points on the last 5, a draw, and won their last 4. Blackpool have managed to win 21 games this season, 14 of which have come at Bloomfield Road. Sonny Carey got them off to a perfect start. Again, I think it's his 5th goal of the season. And again, they've all been, or 4th goal of the season, they've all been outside the box on the left-hand side, cut into the right-hand side of the goal. And again, it's a good goal. Karamoko Dembele with another 2 assists to take his tally up to 13 assists and 7 goals for the season. Barnsley did respond with 2 quick goals. I must say the Dan Grimshaw save was unbelievable. I think it's up there for save of the day, save of the month, and save of the season. Dan Grimshaw is an unbelievable goalkeeper, and one of the key reasons Blackpool got relegated last year was the Mick McCarthy appointment and him not playing Dan Grimshaw and playing Chris Maxwell, which I thought was ludicrous. He gets critics at times, Dan Grimshaw. It can be a bit Joe Hart-esque, a bit probably too, I don't know the right words, maybe outgoing, a bit too passionate at times, and maybe can get caught up in emotion, but he's a very good goalkeeper at this level. Barnsley, lost 1 in 21 away, have now lost their last 4 away games. I've got 1 point from 5 games and have won 1 game in 8 and drawn 1. Devante Cole's goals have dried up. He scored 1 in 16 matches. McAtee scored his 12th goal of the season yesterday, and Phillips 4 in 5. Barnsley's mission is simple: beat Northampton and you finish 5th. However, a long time ago, they were miles clear of Lincoln, Oxford, and Blackpool, who could all overtake the Tykes on Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, it was a really big result in terms of the top 6 shake-up. I thought Blackpool, you have to give them immense credit. I thought they started really well. That first half, 11 shots, 4 on target, and 2 goals in that period. I thought they came out and really put Barnsley under it. And when you put Barnsley under pressure, they remind me a little bit, Ben, of Peterborough last year. When you put Barnsley under significant pressure, they tend to crack a little bit. You look at the results, Stevenage away, they would have done the same. Lincoln at home, we put them under a bit of pressure, and we all saw what happened there. Like you say, Barnsley really poor in this recent run. You have to say that Phillips and McAtee are the only players that are coming out with their heads held high, are disappointing. And like you say, they were so far in front, Ben, and now all of a sudden there are 3 teams on their tail. And Northampton, I don't think will roll over for Barnsley. It'll be a tough game for them. They'll be backed really well. They'll want to get into the mid-60s in terms of points. But for Blackpool, credit to them. All they could do yesterday was take it to the final day. That's all they had. That's all they could do. They knew if they lost yesterday, they'd have been out of the race. And fair play to them. They've taken it to the final day. They go away to Reading, who have just conceded 3 to Burton Albion, so they'll be fancying the chances. But it is a tough venue to go to, the Majewski and all the select car leasing. And get a result, to get a positive result that's going to keep you in contention, because you'd imagine Blackpool are certainly going to have to win to get in on Saturday. So, yeah, great result for Blackpool. Keeps them alive. Barnsley, my alarm bells are ringing, and I think Neil Collins might well leave the club in this summer. I've just got a feeling that they might link ties with one of their exes, Ben, that they've been successful with in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. So 200 people in the live chat. Thank you so much. If you could subscribe, 50% on Wednesday night wasn't subscribed. So if you haven't already, go down there. 950 away from 15,000 subscribers, which was all my end of season pretty much goal by the time we stopped doing content early June times. It's a big ask now, but go on then if you could subscribe. Bristol Rovers have now lost a good chunk of their last 10 games. What is it, 6 defeats in 10, and haven't scored in 8 of the last 10 as well. But Peterborough came to town with a better team. I'm really proud that Joe Randell, I'm really happy for him that he scored, because he got booed off by a small minority of Peterborough supporters. I say small minority because there are no right fan base in terms of supporting the players Peterborough. They get behind the players in a good way. Joe Randall scored a goal. It's a nice finish, good movement into the box. He scored 9 and got 6 assists this year for a forward attacking midfielder. That's what you want. John Clark-Harris led the line really well. Burrow's got 14 assists of the season. It's a big win for Peterborough. Again, they can potentially still get second if they win their games, beat Bolton and beat Cheltenham, and Derby lose to Carlisle. Derby not beating Carlisle is the small factor in their way. I can see a world where Peterborough win both games and still finish 4th because of goal difference.
Yeah, Peterborough, again, like you mentioned, pretty ruthless, like they were on Tuesday night against you lot. There's not a lot to say. Bristol Rovers are quite a favourable fixture at the moment, bar their recent wins over Cambridge and Cheltenham. They've been very poor in front of goal, and I think that showed again yesterday. Peterborough completely dominating the game. They took the moments when they had them, and that's what they needed to do. And for Peterborough, it was just a case of win next game, see if we can push Derby to the final day, similar to what Blackpool have done in recent weeks, and they're able to get the job done. Fantastic, like you say, for them to secure that playoff position first and foremost, but also to just try and keep it alive. But yes, it was. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna. That means we're gonna get beat, doesn't it? And won't finish.
It really means nothing, though, innit?
Like you say, good win for Peterborough, routine win for me, and they'll be hoping to take some momentum in the playoffs. If they win the last 3, then they've certainly got themselves that.
We'll go to Oxford now because to make your game bigger, Oxford had to play, and you always felt. Did you, yes or no, did you feel more confident in Oxford getting a result after the Steve Evans news?
I felt more confident in Stevenage getting a result, not Oxford.
Yeah, so you felt you always felt that Stevenage could go there and get a point.
Yeah, with or without Evans, I thought they could go get a good result. Yeah.
Were you more confident with the news? Did you
think I think I was actually, because we've seen it before with Oxford. Funny enough, when a manager walks out on you. How they can play. And you think about the Leighton Orient game for Oxford, and when was it, Ben? When did he go? October, November?
Yeah.
They rallied together and put in a really good performance, and Stevenage did the same on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely so. Stevenage did, obviously, were 1-0 after the break. They had no shots on target.
Great goal. Fantastically worked goal.
Penalty, not given halfway through the half. Stonewaller penalty. And yet again, we're talking about referees. I'm not going to say anything more. But referees at this level are costing teams. That could be the difference between, many millions of pounds for Oxford United. Let's be honest about it. For a football club that, need to be looking at running sustainably, like every club do, and that promotion can really help them. They did find themselves back into the game, get a good point in the end. It was a battling point. They didn't really create much. I thought Stevenage always looked comfortable in the match. But it's now, with one game to go. I asked you before the Cheltenham game, you don't play tomorrow. Would you want to swap position with Oxford and have the 3 points extra? You said no, I want to play my game, because obviously you knew if you won, you had the better goal difference. I think you had a better, was it by 5? Now it's 6. And now basically you've just got to match Oxford's result, or if they win, say if they win, they've got to beat your scoreline by 6 or more.
Yeah, and that's going to be pretty tough for them. But I do want to give a lot of credit to Stevens, because I thought Oxford played well, and there'll be things that we can talk about. But I thought Stevenage were exemplary outside of possession. I thought they were fantastic. They moved from side to side. I think it looked like a team that were really playing for their interim coach after being walked out on by their manager. I'm sure there are lots of Lincoln supporters in the chat tonight were glued to the TV screen on Friday, and when that goal went in, we just thought, oh my God, that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Oxford almost out the race, and unfortunately they're able to get a goal. Obviously they missed the penalty in the first half. For me, like you say, Ben, it's an obvious penalty. As a goalkeeper, I can understand why McGillivray is acting that way. I think he knows he's guilty, but I can understand Marcus Brown's taken the ball away from him. I think if he pulls his hands out, I think it becomes a bit more obvious. But the one that they got, Ben, and this is the issue that we have with referees. That referee would have gone into half-time with a TV in his dressing room, seen that he'd not given a penalty, and then he'll be looking to give Oxford a penalty, which is exactly what he did, because you can't tell me that the one that they got was a penalty, because not only was it was outside the penalty area, and I don't know why both linesmen somehow didn't help out the referee, which was really poor. But again, Stevenage came and, Oxford had a couple of chances. Josh Murphy got in behind once or twice. Maybe should have scored. Stevenage had their own chance at the other end. Jamie Cumming tipped one onto the post. So yeah, look, I was happy on Friday night knowing that we get our job done on Saturday and we go above Oxford. But yeah, to me, they look like a side that have lost their momentum. Ben, a little bit like after we scored all those goals and then we started to lose it a little bit. Oxford looked like the mojo is a little bit lost. It also seems like the internet in Oxfordshire's down, because last week there were loads of them.
Jake,
no. Hold on.
Can I just say here?
Yeah, but I come on after a loss, mate.
Can I just say next week?
I'm happy.
Next week, that's all I'll say.
I'm happy to front it up, but there's no Oxford fans tonight after they've had a bad week. I'm not saying we're going to get in the playoffs. They could still get in the playoffs. I'm just saying they're not around tonight. But yes, no, it was fantastic. Oh crikey!
Good lad. Good lad. They're a good lad.
We got mentions on there the other week, Ben, didn't we?
We did, yeah. You know something? I listen to them all the time, and I'm too busy. No, I like them. They've upgraded since obviously Jake's left as well, which is good.
Great point for Stevenage, and great point for Lincoln as well.
Talking of Lincoln, go on the Imps.
Go on,
10th away win of the season. I must say I'm disappointed Lucas Jensen. Where's the clean sheet at, boy? Just because you have a penalty?
You're still top, mate.
Where's the standards at now? It's a great win. 7 shots on target. You're really peppered. Bounce back ability, this Lincoln team. And I said to Jake before, I rang him about 12:30 this afternoon, and basically said, look, I think it's great that you lost away against Wigan, because it told you a lot about the group. To go 16 unbeaten, winning 11 of which, wasn't it? Was or at least 10 of them was a remarkable achievement, and you got into the playoffs. So then you got a setback, undeservedly so. You should have won the match. Refereeing decisions again, or a bit of luck at times when sometimes you have those days, especially even when you're at the top of the table, that you do have them. You saw Portsmouth and Derby and Bolton have all had them this season as well. And then obviously the Reading game the week before, which I thought was an unbelievable point. Realistically, Wave home, they still needed points to survive, and the crowd's a big one, and it's not a bottom 6 team. Let's be honest about it. It's probably where Wigan are, top 12 team realistically. And then you bounce back, and you got a great result at Oxford Tuesday night under the lights, and you just felt that that's the type of Lincoln team that they are. When there's no expectation, they go and show the world and what League One, what they can do. And they don't need a lot of the ball. And was more impressed yesterday because they've all of a sudden gone from a game where they're not going to have a lot of the ball, they're not favourites, they're going to have to do a lot of running without the ball, to having a lot of the ball, being in control and breaking the team down. So it was 2 completely different games. They managed both games really well and come out with 6 points on the road as well. Long distance away days as well. Long travel, and especially you get back from Oxford, you rest Wednesday. You're in training Thursday, you're going to travel Friday. So it's difficult, back-to-back away games, as we've learned this week as well. So really impressed, and I'm happy for you that you bounced back with 2 victories after that loss, because we could be talking about now that Lincoln went to 19 unbeaten, 20 games unbeaten, lost to Portsmouth on that last day of the season, and then you're going into the playoffs, for example, if you get in them, we're thinking, well, we're 9 unbeaten, we're in the playoffs, but we've just lost. How's the group going to react to that? So
we already know how they're going to react now.
Yeah,
don't we?
You've already know.
That was your point.
I bet you'll probably deny it, but there would have been an element in your mind, because it would have been in mine, that you're thinking, is that it? Season over?
Yeah. I came on here last week, Ben, and said, well, I texted it in the T-Lock group chat, and then it made its way onto Twitter very famously.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you don't give up on football. I know a Coventry fan personally that has left today at 3-0 down. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Yeah. So what was your thoughts, mate? Great win. I must say both goals. Freddie Draper scored his 2nd in 4, and Joe Taylor scored his 21st in 43 league games across League One and League Two.
Yeah, well, Jack, my good friend Jack, couldn't have joined at a better time.
Oh, hello.
We are about to have some Lincoln City loving, you best believe it. Look, yesterday, obviously I didn't get to talk about the result. I did get to talk about the result at Oxford. We won, it was great. But to back it up on Saturday was fantastic. I thought first half we started horrifically. First 20 minutes, Cheltenham, they looked like a team that needed to play with something. They were great. They moved the ball around. They had some opportunities. They got the penalty, undeservedly so. Yes, no, I want you to be on the last. Thank you very much, and give us a win. Roll over. Yeah, no, it was great. They were very good in the first 20 minutes. They got the penalty, like I mentioned, definite penalty. Danny shouldn't be diving in there. And then they score at Liam Sercombe, obviously ex-Oxford. So there was a lot of Oxford boys on Twitter telling me, "Oh yeah, you're bottling it. Don't bottle it." And then I thought the group showed great character. We had a bit of sustained possession. We got the ball back. Ethan Araham was slowly getting control in midfield. He was winning some niggly fouls, getting the ball, and all of a sudden we were able to play 20 yards further up the pitch. And it started with that chance for Joe Taylor in the first half, just catching Curtis Davis off guard, and should have scored that. Could have had a hat-trick yesterday, but the goal that he does score is fantastic. Cheltenham down one end, having a bit of an air shot. Joe Taylor carrying it the length of the pitch, and it's some finish on his left foot, Ben, isn't it? And you can see, we spoke to him, didn't we, about a month ago. He's a confident lad, and when like you said, Ben, I'll give you a lot of credit for this. You said once he gets one, he'll go on and score 6, or it was score 6 between 6 and 8. You said, didn't you? He's got 10. He's got 10 for Lincoln now. He's a fantastic, fantastic footballer, and we're very lucky to have him. And hopefully he can recreate last season and get promoted at Wembley. But second half, I thought we came out, and like you say, it was a different challenge. We had a lot of the ball. We had to break them down. They were very rigid. They would have probably been happy with a point, I think, given the fact that they had 2 games left to play, although they're 2 very difficult games. But the chances kept flowing, and I think there are some Cheltenham fans in here that I don't think could argue if the game had ended 3 or 4-1 to Lincoln. We had countless opportunities. Ben House had one that was well saved. Alex Mitchell had one. Joe Taylor again should score. Luke Southwood had a fantastic game for Cheltenham, but Freddie's goal was fantastic. It's a great touch and a great volley into the corner. Really delighted for him. That's 2 in 4 now for Freddie. He's obviously only 19. So, yeah, look, Ben, great win. Really important. It was a great day out, dressed in fancy dress with the rest of them. I'm sure you've all seen my pictures on Twitter. Yeah, look, it was class. It was a great day, great away, and it was bouncing like Tuesday night. And now we go into a game against the champions on Saturday, looking, and we know that if we win, we're in the top 6. And if you'd have said to me, Ben, I can't remember if you can remember that after Blackpool, New Year's Day, I would have been dejected. If you'd have said to me, Lincoln will have a chance to win, to get in the playoffs, confirmed on the last day of the season, I'd have laughed at you. But it's been fantastic, the run we've been on. Sorry to go very heavily on Lincoln, but it was a great win. It's been a great week, and hopefully it's going to get better on Saturday. But under no illusions, Pompey will make it tough for us.
Question for you:
this season, I don't think there's been a player that's come in and made a bigger impact in terms of the goals. His goals have won points. He scored the winner against Exeter. He scored 1 at Barnsley. He scored 2 against Cambridge, 3 against Bristol Rovers. So I don't know, Ben. Would you be able to name any more that might impact in terms of impact, in terms of coming in
January?
Let's say from January.
I think Abu Adams at Derby.
Abu Adams, yeah, could have.
Abu Adams. Thinking of the team, I think he single-handedly, I think, has been the key difference. I would go as far, if Cheltenham won yesterday, maybe I would have gone Matty Taylor just for those 3 or 4 goals that he scored after this kind of the stick I gave him. You could go for a number of different ones as well, really.
I think Joe stands out because he's scored the goals, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Joe stands out because he's got...
Collins at Bolton.
Yeah. To come in and score 10 goals in a team that famously didn't score a lot. And also, I'd like to give Sue a bit of a shout out. She ran into the boys at Leicester Forest East service station on the way home. Her and Ethan had a lovely little conversation, I'm led to believe, with Alex Mitchell. Just a great away day. We've got a great group, and what we've achieved this year is progress, Ben. And Tony, absolutely, mate. I'll be looking out.
Love that boy.
Well, I hope he's still hammered, Ben, because he scored the winning goal against. No, he didn't. He scored the first goal against us.
Let us. Thanks to our good mate of this channel, a very well-known figure, and Mr. Pepe Lacey. Where is it? Just need to get it up.
Don't tell me Pepe Lacey's getting involved.
Oh, I love him. What a boy!
4-0 Sunday Live and his girlfriend rinsing him in the comments. I'm surprised he'll still be here.
This made my week.
Did they go down tonight? I don't know. Oh, yeah, check for me. Someone check if they went down. Who's that? Fleetwood. Check if they got this video to Knapman. Did he go down?
You what?
Did he go down?
He still loves the COD, mate. He still loves the
You've
COD.
got his number. Why don't you just ring him and say, what on earth are you doing on that video?
The thing is, I've got his number. He hasn't got my number.
Oh, okay.
He'll probably come up unknown. Who's this?
No caller ID.
Right, right.
Oh, Ben's disappeared. Right. What do? I've got no control. Oh, he's back. you had me panicking there, mate. I didn't know what to do. What did you do? Did you press leave by accident?
I thought I pressed end stream from it.
Oh, well.
I might do that after we've done the Cambridge, the Bolton, and the Burton game.
There's a guy in the chat called Paul that probably wants you to because he's fed up of hearing about Lincoln. So we probably best move on for Paul's interest.
What's he saying?
He said, hold on, let me get it up. Ben called him out on it. Where are you, Paul? I've got his. Is this all about Lincoln? How about the other teams? Well, Paul,
we come to it now.
We want away from home. Get over yourself, mate.
Come on. Cambridge 0. No, we'll go to Bolton, then we'll go to Derby. Bolton won 2-0 in a game that relegated Port Vale. 11 defeats and 16 for Darren Moore's tricky Vale. Not a good day for the football club. Cullen scored again, 6 in 5, 8 in his 18 games. 21 goal contributions now. Good win for Bolton in a win that probably just means nothing for them. That probably secures third. Lost once in 11, unbeaten in 6, won 5 of the last 11, drawn 5, 25 victories. For Port Vale, commiserations. Good football club. I like the way they've released a statement and they announced the relegation. And yeah, sad day. Good football club, good people there, good set of supporters that I feel sorry for that deserve better. I think Connor Ripley, I feel for him, 2 relegations in 2 years. For a man that is a good League One goalkeeper, doesn't really deserve that.
No, deserved it yesterday though. Because
much of Lincoln next season in League One, please, Connor, come on.
Yeah, I thought Bolton were okay. I didn't think they were at their sparkling best, but they got the job done against the Port Vale team that have been really uninspiring for the last sort of. I think it's since they got rid of Darryl Clark, isn't it? They've just been on a downwards trajectory. Again, like you mentioned, it's good for Bolton. Obviously, they're going to have to play on Carlisle to help them out on the final day. Don't leave the stream again, Ben, because that's my biggest nightmare.
Don't worry. Yeah. Thanks, Sue, for that, by the way. Sue knows what she's just sent me.
Oh, well, I'm very much looking forward to hearing about that after the show's finished. But yeah, no, they're going to have to hope on Carlisle to do them a favour. As for Port Vale, like you say, it's a massive disappointment. It's all gone off the boil for them after such a good start. After that Barnsley game, obviously losing 7-0, and they were in the top 2, weren't they, along with Exeter at the end of September. And it's all capitulated. The Andy Crosby, I don't think he was probably the best appointment in the long run, working with David Flitcroft, who Flitcroft, who didn't have the best of years in his role, and it's ended up with them going down. I think you can play a massive part at David Flitcroft, and they lost their 2 loanees, didn't they? They brought Darren Moore in on a 5.5-year contract, which seemed ridiculous at the time, and now they're going into League 2, probably with the best manager League 2's seen for quite a while. With on a long contract. I'm sure he'll have his head down and they'll work to try and get them back. But I think it's going to be tough for Vale. They've got a lot of players that don't particularly want to be there. There's a lot of players that aren't good enough to be there. and there'll be some players inevitably that move on, like you mentioned there. Connor Ripley will most likely get himself a League One move. I think he's definitely up to the mustard. I think Ben Garrity as well will be one that won't be short of suitors in the summer. So, yeah, disappointing for Port Vale. I do like my trips to Vale Park, Ben. I know you had a bit of a touchy one this year with the penalty, but you did score twice in the last couple of minutes. Did you go 2-0 down and you drew 2-2?
Yeah.
So, probably one of your better away days, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your comment previously. Yes, Barnsley were early on. We're going to have a discussion on the playoffs very soon, though, in the table chat as well. Derby County won their 6th game of the season, 1-0 by the scoreline of 1-0. A big win for them. Mendes Lang, 25 goal contributions, scoring his 9th goal of the season. Player of the year in League One, would you say, Jake? I think he's got to be up there for the goals and assists that he's shown. 16 assists. Come on now, unbelievable. Another clean sheet. Paul Warren. What do you think when you think about Derby County in a Paul Warren side? Well, I think they're very close to 50 victories under him as well. I think tight knitted, good character, honest. Won't be pretty, but we'll get the job done. We'll win tight games. We'll keep clean sheets. A bit like Darren Moore does play to win 1-0. Sometimes in the Championship you can get picked off with better quality, but their aim is just to get 2 wins. That was all they're thinking. 2 wins. They win next week or get a point next week. They are up and they'll fancy that. Good victory for them. Nice goal as well. 25 goal contributions. Another away victory. And it's Carlisle United, bottom of League One, standing in their way.
Yeah, I'd hate for Carlisle to go there and win. I'm sure some Bolton and Peterborough fans will be keeping their eye on.
Carlisle go 1-0 up. I could see it happening, you know.
Well, I'd hate to say that because I know I've got Derby County fans biting already. But yeah, no, I thought they were good yesterday without being spectacular. Once again, they've done it all season, haven't they? I think there's probably only been 5 or 6 games that I think Derby fans can say we played extremely well in that game and not deservedly won, but do you know what I mean? The performance warrants a win. I think that a lot of the time they've not performed to the ability in which this squad are capable of. And the reason that I'm so critical of Derby is because the players in that squad, Ben, should be playing better than what they are. Thank you, Scott. Much appreciated. I'm gonna. Do you want to leave the stream, Ben?
Tom is out my transfer budget now.
Oh, good. I should hope he is.
I'm technically a bloody free agent.
I'm going to say, mate, you'll be. I'm sure Harrogate have got a bigger.
People who live in glass houses.
Yeah, people that live in glass houses. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway,
why are we both single?
It's for now. Yeah. I think we hold Derby to high standards, and they've not perhaps done it every time, but they've been effective in what they do. They win a lot of football matches, and like you say, Paul Warren getting to 50 wins as boss. He only took over in September, October last in 2022. So it was a good win for Derby. Great play from Louis Sibley to get the ball, and to Mendes Lang who does the rest. And like you say, you'd fancy them against Carlisle, but Peterborough will tell you that Carlisle at home is not an easy fixture. And yeah, fair play to Derby. It looks like they're going to go up. I think they're going to have to do a bit of work on that squad. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of old legs in there. I think the Championship, like you say, doesn't suit teams that play marginal football. I think they're going to have to try and be a bit more expansive, a bit more entertaining on the eye to really try and hit their aims of probably getting back to where they were 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So yeah, good win for Derby. They'll be absolutely buzzing, and Pride Park sell out on Saturday with a sold out away end as well from Carlisle. 1,500 fans of theirs going, which is a good effort. So looking forward to that. Derby are too big to be in League One, same as Portsmouth, same as Bolton. So yeah, we'll hopefully see the back of them.
Talking about you being single for now, Burton were nursing 8 straight home defeats at the Pirelli, while Reading were looking to get into the high 50s in terms of points, that is. Big win for Burton Albion, who knew if they won, they could relegate both Port Vale and Fleetwood. 2 early goals. Wow. Reading did hit back. Burton went 3-1 up, and Reading equalised. Sam Smith scored his 3rd in as many games, and 14 for the season, bettered last season's tally. 25 points at home for the Brewers, won 2 of the last 3 after 8 home straight defeats. Their first home win for exactly 3 months.
Very good, Ben. That was. Do you know what? I'll give you that because you're very clever. I wouldn't say 1-0, mate. It was your way around. Remember, Alex Mitchell was offside. Do you remember? No, yeah, Burton. I thought Burton were good. They went 2 goals up, didn't they? Through Mason Bennett and
1-0.
You're allowed to do that sort of gesture on YouTube with it.
You're not allowed to come at me now.
Why?
We're not on FaceTime anymore while doing this.
Yeah, no. Just you wait till the you should wait till the fourth official puts that board up at the end of the stream, and I might say something then you don't know. But no, yeah, fantastic win for Burton. It all but confirms the place in League One next year. Great goals, I think, from Mustafa Carriel and Bobby Camber. It's a great overhead kick, Ben. Again, Lewis Wing and Sam Smith scoring for Reading. Not quite enough though. I think they'll prove to be a tough test for Blackpool next weekend. But for Burton, it basically keeps them in bar a miracle with Cheltenham beating Peterborough and Stevenage. It will be interesting. So yes, great win for Burton, and they're all but safe.
Yeah, great win. Reading, remarkable season for them. 50 points. Obviously,
take away the 6 as well.
Yeah, 56 points. They'll be aiming to get into the 60s. Great win.
Maybe that could have been a pun for one of the women that you're chasing, Ben, into the 60s. Hey.
Yeah, well, I like an old one. Oh God.
Where are we going to the bottom 4? Are we going to that game now, Ben?
That's the last one, isn't it?
Fleetwood are down, everybody. Just in case you didn't know. And I feel really bad for our Ben. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's devastated. Come on, mate. You need to talk to me because
Thank you so much for the donation, Brian. Much appreciated, mate. If you could like the stream now and subscribe because you're about to get 5 minutes.
Well, let's have your Fleetwood rant, Ben.
You're about to get 5 minutes of yeah. So went to the game yesterday. With not much hope. I always thought Burton would get something out of the game. I thought the Burton, fans turned out in good numbers and got behind the team and drove them to 3 points, and deservedly so. And I thought Martin Patterson deserves a lot of credit for yesterday. I've given him a lot of flack recently. I think it's paper over cracks at times, but it's a good win. I still think we'll need a change in the summer, whether that's the manager or a team overhaul. But we're on about Fleetwood. Leighton Orient now lost 4 of the last 6, won 1 in that time. I've only won 1 in the last 6 home games as well, lost 6 of the last 9. So we're talking about teams ending stronger than not. We won first time on a Saturday for 53 weeks. 16 games of that Saturday away win finally comes to an end. Won 1-0. Good win away. We did our job, didn't we? 9th away win of the season. And it hurts because it feels the end of an era. It really does. We've had 10 great years in this division. We beat Sheffield United away. We've beaten some big teams in this league as well. Your derbies, your Sheffield Uniteds, your Portsmouths, those teams as well. We also managed to beat Blackpool, and we've done well. We finished 4th in the division. We've got to 2 semi-finals of a playoff. This season it hasn't been good enough. It really hasn't, and we've been in the bottom 4 for the best part of 43 match weeks of a season. And I was there at the ground saying, not knowing what to say for a man that speaks a lot and has plenty of words to say.
He does, I agree with that.
And it really hurt because what hurts me, I don't think enough of our players or people. And look, this will be harsh, but they've just got relegated. They don't care. I don't think a lot of them care. I don't think that they'll go home last night and feel the way I felt. Obviously, they're players. They're picking up a wage. There's some players in that team that I know if, as a football club, your Brendan Wirradoos, your Ryan Brooms, your Carl Johnstons, your Boston Lowells, even your Ben Hennigans to an extent as well. Your young players adding into that. are giving everything. I think a lot of experienced players have let us down this year. Your Josh Vellas, your Jack Marriott's, your Jay Lynch's, your Sean Rooney's at times, where, unfortunately, from what you hear from the football club, I know what you hear is not always true. They've let us down. And I think players need to look at themselves after a relegation. And it hurts because this football club have never been relegated before. We've been in League One for 10 years and we've done well. We've had a great run. Next year, it's all about staying in the division. If Morecambe and Accrington can do it, we can. And I think, 50 points is obviously the first. I mean, you build from there. You try and stay in the division. I was close to tears yesterday. It was a sad day. It hurts more today. It's like a bruise. It hurt at the start. And then now the pain's coming through, but the bruise is there to show. And we've now got to go through the motions. And realistically, I've not wanted to go and watch us play this season. There's been a fighting endeavour, but it's not been good enough. And at times, I said at Wycombe away when Promise got sent off, that is the moment we'll come back on. Extra away, that is the moment. Port Vale, that is the moment. No, the moment was when we didn't score under Johnson for 6 games. The moment was when we had 4 games under Adam and we lost all 4 games. The moment was when players decided they didn't want to be at the football club and thought, right, let's try and get a manager sacked. And that's it. Congratulations to Burton, for winning the game, getting their job done overall over the course of the season. They were better than us. I've tried to stick positive. I've tried to, think, right, if they score, just get the ball, keep playing. Just keep playing. At times I wanted to say, other stuff, but I thought, no. Anyone questioning Charlie Adam, lastly, I think that, the results haven't been there. And we've got used to watching a turgid style of football under Brown and under Grayson and under Craney and now, under Johnson. And I get you that your expectations are down here. But I don't see, with a budget being cut dramatically, no owner, funding not being there, the club wanting to go in a different direction in terms of funding the football club, where you're going to go. So for me, sad day. Was gutted. I'm more gutted today. I want to say thank you for the lovely comments on my video as well. I read them all this morning. I've personally responded to a good 80% of them today. I will go and respond them in the next 24 hours and read them all because I want to give a full response to every one of them. A big thank you for everyone that supported this channel because without Fleetwood being in League One, I don't think we'd be here now. And I've loved doing this over the last 5 or 6 years, properly over the last 3 or 4 years. Met good people while I'm at it, and as one door closes, another one opens. Jake,
what do I say about that? What do I say? Well, I think you've hit the nail back on the head, Ben, and I'm pretty sure everyone who is in this chat tonight who doesn't support Fleetwood, I think it's been mentioned in the chat, have a soft spot for Fleetwood purely because of you, Ben, and what you provide. Entertainment, you do this, you do your vlogs, you do League One content, you've got your membership scheme now and people will fall in love with Fleetwood because of you, Ben. And a lot of people have. Certainly, without knowing who you were, if we never did that one collaboration when I was at the Stacey West for a match preview, we wouldn't be sat here now. Wouldn't have such an affiliation with yourself, with Tony, with obviously your mum's lovely. Having met your mum as well. So look, I know it hurts and it will hurt for the next couple of weeks. It will absolutely kill because the last thing you want to do is see your club get relegated. And I know how you feel because I have been there watching us go out the Football League. You've just got to come back stronger next year. You can't control it, Ben. What have I told you for weeks? You can't control it. So what
always trust your gut feeling.
Always trust your gut feeling. I've taught you lots of life lessons over the last, I don't know, since December.
November 16th.
It might be around that day. I can't remember the specific day, but
I think he also won that day.
Look, I think you're an absolute credit to your town, Ben. You're a credit to your football club. What you produced and what you do for everybody is immaculate. And I think the people, I don't know how many people in the chat, Ben, you'll be able to tell me, but
180.
They'll all be here for you, Ben. They'll all be here for you because you are Mr. League One. You've got the stats. You've got the research. You know what you're talking about. Everyone respects your opinion. And, if you've got 180 people tuning in on a Sunday evening to talk about League One, you know you're doing something right. And to be honest, there's a lot of love. I love you to pieces. Everyone in the chat loves you to pieces. Don't start crying now, Ben.
Make me emotional.
And yeah, look, it's unfortunate that Fleetwood have gone down this season of all years, but you'll be back. I've got no worries. Once you sort your ownership out, you'll be back. And yeah, it will come, Ben. It will come.
I would just like to answer this quickly, massively. Andy Pilley wasn't just the funding of the Fleetwood, he was the heartbeat of it. You know, he ran everything, and he wouldn't have had what the players were doing for months. He would have dragged them in. You know, the club have been uncertain. There's good people around the football club that are good people, but they're not leaders. They're there to follow, in my eyes. And, you know, the club has been in uncertain times, and it's a shame, really, because, you know, I think if, you know, what Andy's created in 20 years has been destroyed, I think, in 12 months, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's been a disastrous season. It's been, you know, how many times I've not wanted to come out here on a Sunday. I've not wanted to go on T-Lop. I've not wanted to, you know, release. Like the Tuesday night was the hardest vlog. I made sure I didn't upload that vlog till 8 o'clock at night. I made sure yesterday I watched my vlog twice. I felt like, you know, I felt bad for being emotional. I felt awful for it, but I thought, no, I'm just going to put it up there, and it is what it is. But yeah, had a great factor as well.
I have just had a message off a Blackpool fan, Ben, saying that whilst he despises Fleetwood, you are his. He has a bit of a soft spot because of the stuff you provide. So, thank you, Callum, for your very nice words.
I thank you so much for the comments, and we'll appreciate it. We'll come to the League One table then. Oh, God. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this.
What are we doing? Do you want to do top half to make yourself feel better first?
No, we'll go bottom. Get it out of the way. Carlisle United, 30-point mark, lost 29. Only conceded 79 goals. You know, I think there's been teams that have gone down with 81 conceded as well. Vale relegated as well. Commiserations to them. Good football club. Good, you know, good overall manager. I really hope, you know, wish them the best. I was the first one to message Alfie straight away after the game. Although I was on I've been on a bit of a social media ban. Fleetwood Town also confirmed their relegation. I don't know if I've mentioned it. Losing half your games.
Well, the club haven't announced it yet, have they?
No statement. No statement on the FA Cup, and there's reasons for that. You know, people on our board are related to the FA. So, what happened? Cheltenham 5 points adrift of Burton, need to beat Peterborough and Stevenage, and hope Burton minimum will draw to Fleetwood. So if Fleetwood beat Burton and Cheltenham won their last 2 games, Burton then will be relegated. Very slim chance. Cambridge United will be the same boat. Realistically, they could still get relegated, but better goal difference. You never know. Shrewsbury, Reading, Charlton, Bristol Rovers, Northampton, Wigan, Exeter, Wycombe, Leyton Orient, Stevenage will all join Rotherham United, Mansfield Town, Wrexham AFC, and Stockport County in League One next season, Jake.
Can't wait, mate. I can't wait. But yeah, that bottom half, like you say, those 3 teams that are confirmed down now at the moment. Yeah, it's tough on all the fans, like you mentioned. But I've been disappointed in quite a few teams down here. I look at Shrewsbury. They came 12th last year, Ben. They've had a massive drop off. Bristol Rovers, I mean, I really thought they were going to be something this year. Remember we had that famous stream around Christmas saying that their squad was better than ours. It's gone one way for Bristol Rovers and one way for Lincoln since then. But disappointed with them. They'll have had ambitions to get up. Fleetwood, again, I think you have to be disappointed in the manner of which you've played this year, given that you were a solid League One team last year for certainly the last 9 years, apart from that one that you got survived on 40 points. I think the teams that can count themselves have had a good season in there. Northampton, I think Reading, and I think Wigan as well. Wigan obviously could find themselves in the top half come Saturday afternoon. So yeah, it's a poor quality bottom of the table, Ben. And I think League One next year with the likes of Mansfield, Wrexham, Stockport, I think we're going to see some teams that finish in the top half finish down here next year. And I think those teams that have just stayed up this year, the likes of Burton, Cambridge, Shrewsbury, will be nervously looking over their shoulder at that drop zone into League Two.
I don't think any team that will come into League One next season currently will be going anywhere near the drop.
Depends who wins the playoffs.
Yeah. Exeter City, what a remarkable turnaround. And we're talking about biggest impact on club. Gary Cole not being sacked in terms of a manager, I think deserves a huge amount of credit. 61 points now, won 6 of the last 9, most informed team in the division. And, really good season. Wycombe, again, ended the season strong, won 6 of their last 9. Obviously lost 1 instead of drawn 1. Leyton Orient, 62 points, have slowly faded away. One thing that stands out to me is, obviously, I predicted Wigan to finish 13th. If you could stay there, please. 19 wins, and you're looking at Blackpool, 21 wins, Lincoln, 20 wins, Barnsley, 21 wins. You add the 8 points, they're on 67-ish. And then you kind of think, well, maybe just turn a couple of... They're not far away, Wigan. Stevenage, I'm worried for next season on 68. Where do you see that bracket going, going forwards?
Yeah, I think Exeter will be looking to push on if they can finish in the top 10 this year. That will be real signs of progress under Caldwell. I think they'll have a similar sort of season next year. Wycombe, I think they've got the Bloomfield blueprint a little bit. I think they're playing a lot better football now, and the recent sort of wins have been able to signify that. I think they'll be a little bit better next year. Leyton Orient, I think I'm putting as my early sort of dark horses for the playoffs next year. The way that Richie Wellens has got them playing, it's such an attractive brand. They create a lot of chances, and if they add a number 9 that can get 20 goals, I think that could have seen Leyton Orient potentially up where Stevenage and Blackpool and Oxford and Lincoln are potentially. Stevenage, obviously, there's a lot of variables with Stevenage at the moment because they don't have a manager. We don't know who's going to come in, whether that's going to be Ainsworth, it's going to be Ryan Mason's been linked with the job quite heavily in the last couple of days. Interesting to see who goes in there. Obviously, they've got a squad. They might lose some couple of key players. You'd imagine certainly Jamie Reid might follow Steve Evans to Rotherham. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Pierre Gianni as well. So I think they'll lose a key players. I think they'll be one that doesn't perhaps have a good season. I think they'll be similar to where maybe Bristol Rovers are this season. I think they'll have a decent season, but nowhere near as good as what they have. And then the playoff lot, Ben. You're going to ask me who's going to get in, aren't you?
So, Blackpool. I've gone for Blackpool beating Reading.
Yeah.
That'll take them to 76. I think Oxford will win 77.
I don't.
I favour Lincoln to win. I think it could be a draw, but I could see a world where all 4 teams win.
Well, me and us and Barnsley would be very happy with that. I think if you want my opinion, Reading's a tough away game. Regardless, I think Reading lost the way they're the season. That want to celebrate the way that the season's gone. It's been successful. Don't forget, they've got some good players that can hurt Blackpool. I think Blackpool might drop points. And similar, I think Oxford will drop points. Exeter, like you say, the form team in the league. I think, Ben, in 2024, they picked up the 4th most amount of points in League One. 6 wins in 9. They're in some good form, and they'll have that motivation, won't they? They're knowing that if a win and results go their way, they could be a top 10 team. And if you'd have said that in September, like I said, they'd have snapped your arm off. I think we'll get it's difficult. Portsmouth are a great side. If Portsmouth show up, then Portsmouth could beat us. But I think the fact that we've got that edge of something to play for gives us advantage. I think we get a positive result, whether we draw or we beat Portsmouth. And I think Barnsley will beat Northampton. So I wouldn't be surprised. For me, I think it will be I think it'll be tough, mate. I think it's going to be really tough. And look, there's going to be, like Wardy made the really good point on T-Lock. In that 90 minutes, it's probably going to be in all 4 of those teams. It's going to be in all 4 of those teams' hands at some point in the 90 minutes. Yeah. It starts with Lincoln in Barnsley. It then probably skips to Oxford if they go a goal up. It might stick to Blackpool and they've got a goal up. So really intriguing. If you're going to ask me, am I going to back Lincoln to get in the playoffs? I am. I am going to back Lincoln to get in the playoffs.
I want to know in the comments who you want to get in and who you think will get in as well. A big thank you again for the support of this season. If you could keep liking and subscribing, that'd be massively appreciated. But I just want to say a big thank you to this legend who not only has, supported the channel throughout, has become a member. And by becoming a member, I released a behind the scenes of not late, of a weekend, last weekend when we played Northampton, of how I prepped for a game. Behind the scenes of this show as well. So I had a camera like here next to me here, talking to Jake before, after the show, during the show, showing you how I get my notes. So if you could join up as a member, it would be massively appreciated. We're nearly at 50 monthly subscribers. So if you could join up, that'd be massively appreciated. And everything that we do earn over that just goes back into producing extra content. We should have another new video out for you later this week on Sky Bet League One. And videos will still be going on there. Well, there's maybe not as activity on here over the summer break, the month off I'm having. God, I need it from Fleetwood. There'll still be videos on there as well. So if you fancy joining up, that'll be appreciated as well. The Port Vale fan who said we were getting relegated is absolute pelters now. Just saying, I was the only T-Lop and one of the only ones at back Wigan. Just saying.
I didn't. I back Wigan to stay up.
Yeah, I think you had 18th, did you?
15th.
15th, not too bad. They could still finish there, could they?
I had Port Vale in the bottom four, and I was getting laughed at. Can you remember?
15th. Yeah, technically they could still finish there, to be fair.
I've got my table here actually.
Do you think I'm doing a video filming a video next week, reacting to my predictions? Right, okay. Q&A for the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. The stage is yours, guys. Get them in as well. Jake, go on, give yourself a little plug, mate.
Twitter. Yeah, I'm now up to 1,100 followers, mate. I've gained 100 followers in about 3 weeks. So yeah, come over. My at is Ben's hidden my at because he's Can we have them back on? Thank you.
Didn't realize
down here. I'm getting better at this. Look, down here, please. Jake_Tongue98. If you can come and give me a follow, that would be much appreciated. Lots of linking and lots of you get T-Lot reminders on Twitter. So come over and give us a follow.
Yeah, and hopefully Jake won't be nursing a playoff hangover next week. You deserve everything. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate that. Actually, Blackpool get in, but I think Blackpool will get in the playoffs. Do you think Wycombe will do well next season? I think I don't like commenting on that yet. I think I need to see what clubs do yet. I know Humphries is out of contract, isn't he? I think Wigan, if they can keep 10 or 12 players and really add to that, maybe add a good 9 or 10. I know League One's a mad league, but
they'll get some money, won't they, for Hughes and Tickle?
If they both go. I can see an option where maybe one comes back in on loan.
Yeah.
Sam Tickle wasn't a big fan of the old balloons yesterday, was he? I don't think he was partial. But another big win. Alex Mitchell on a perm. That should be the first bit of business you do this summer.
Well, I'd like to buy Joe Taylor, but every goal he scores, he tends to get a little bit further out of our
He's
price.
adding 100 grand onto his talent.
Yeah, I'd love to see Alex back. He gets the club. He's one of those loanees that really come in and make a difference. A little bit like, I'd say, Bosson's come into Fleetwood and really done it. Fingers crossed.
Get in!
Fingers crossed.
I'll tell you what, right? I'd love it if that happens, right? And then next season, imagine we get promoted and you go down. It'll be like, hello.
Hello, we're back again. Yeah, no, yeah. I'd love Mitchell to stay.
Thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate that. Shane, thank you so much. Dembele will come back. I think you've got to go up. I think he's a 3 or 4 million.
He's very confident, is Jacob, isn't he? I don't see a world where Dembele goes back. I don't see a world where
mustard.
I don't see a world where Dembele goes back to Blackpool.
I think next season, Wrexham will finish in the top 10. I think Wrexham will do what Bolton did. I think they'll finish 9th or 10th. I think there'll be a world where Parkinson next season will get a bit of flat because they're not in the playoffs. I think they'll be just outside the playoffs. I think Mansfield will be about 17th, 18th. And I think Stockport will be
middle of the road.
Yeah, top 12-ish, top 12, 13th. The top of the league, it never really seems to be the one that goes. It's always the one who finishes just behind, isn't it, really? Yeah, James, he loves it, doesn't he? Yeah. I said this. I was asking someone, one of my mates, I go to uni with, and I went, would you have JCH? And he went, absolutely. Him and Mullen up front together. He won't come back. He's always injured as well. That's his problem. As an outside, would he
have a question? Where do you think Brendan's going to end up?
Wiredu. Oh,
Yeah.
I think he'll go back down south.
I want a club.
I think it'd be League One. I did say Wrexham. I could see him go to Wrexham, to be fair.
It's not down south, though, is it?
A bit like Conor McGrath's.
Yeah.
You want to go up north.
Lost his compass.
Yeah. I never understood how compasses worked at school. I was there like, I used to always put them in the paper. Like, I'm there like, well, I don't know how to work this. Like,
people
I can't follow a map, never mind use a compass. If you said to me, straight on, turn left, I'd go turn right, go left, and then go straight. So,
do you think maybe if Peterborough stayed down, he'd go to Peterborough?
Yeah, potentially. I could see in the world. I could see him. Yeah, potentially if they sell.
Obviously, if QPR come down, I know they were like QPR.
Yeah, Peterborough I think will be likely. I think you see them as well.
Clever recruitment.
Yeah, good question. You should be on more shows more often.
I know.
Posh going up would be they need to, because you look at their team. Burrow's going to go. Knight will probably go. Ronnie Edwards, who by the way got absolutely bullied the other day. Boston and Promise bullied him. Katongo's a decent right back, but not quite ready for the step up. Collins and Cipriano, I think, will attract interest. Mason Clark's gone. Pocky will go, and they'll keep Mothersill. They'll keep Ricky J. Jones. They'll lose JCH. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's the lease of the stadium, isn't it? That's what it's all about. It's nothing to do with the facilities. It's because they don't. It's the lease, and they've changed it, but they haven't changed it quickly enough. So Gateshead can be promoted. It just won't happen this season.
I think he'll do another couple of years.
I think he'll go in the summer.
If they don't go, what do you think he'll go? Where do you think he'll go?
Where is he? Northwest base, someone, maybe like a Bolton.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe it depends. I'd say maybe somebody in a champion, like a Blackburn. So Blackburn stay up. I can see he goes to Blackburn.
Smoddick's what a player, by the way. You know, if Peterborough would have won that, just an example, like they wouldn't have got hammered and would have won that, they'd have been favourites to go up, Peterborough. With those two games in hand. It just shows you. I don't understand it. I think the minimum amount of games Premier League clubs play, 38, one Carabao, one FA Cup, that's 40. The minimum that an EFL club will pay League One, 46, plus 3 for a Papa John's, plus 1 for an FA and 1 for a Carabao, 51. And you can say, well, they'll get further in the FA Cup Premier League clubs. Well, League One clubs will have to play 2 rounds to get to where the Premier League clubs get to. So already they're playing potentially 2 extra games. So that's 53. Say if they win they get out of the group. That's 54, It's tough. I don't understand it. It's all to suit the big boys. I can't stand Premier League football, really, anymore. I don't watch as much as I used to. I probably struggle watching Liverpool today. I just don't find it interesting. I like the Championship. I like League One. I like League Two. Maybe handy for 12 months' time. I like the National League. It's a good league, and because you're getting hard-working, players, good leagues, good entertainment. I think that I've never felt so far away from Premier League football in my life. So,
it's a joke, mate, isn't it? It's a joke because I circle this back to Lincoln. Lincoln wouldn't be where we are now without an FA Cup replay. That FA Cup replay against Ipswich, where we were able to knock them out and get to the quarterfinal, Lincoln would not be sat here guaranteed in League One looking to get promoted.
Exactly. Of course. I like watching. Like I watch Luton in the Prem because I want them to do well because it doesn't feel Premier League-esque, Right. I think that's where we can end it. There we are. 75 minutes special. Mate, I'm bloody knackered. I've done a half marathon. Right, my legs are gone. Right. Coach Bennett, what a hero, got me through that. I didn't think
I'd well tonight, mate, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've got my dissertation due in tomorrow, Jake. Yeah.
No pressure.
Well, yeah, I've had what?
It's all done.
Yeah, I've just got to put my name on it, which might be a struggle.
Struggling.
J-A-M-A. Oh, sorry, I've spelled it wrong. What's after? And then I've got to put my acknowledgements on. Then I'm done, mate. Done. Uni over. I'd just like to thank everyone at UClan, for a terrific 4 years. It's been a good
Matt
football
Salmons
club.
has done you well there, hasn't he?
I've only ever seen Matt twice, probably, around the building. There's good people around the building. There's a good place called
Well, you
Roast.
sound like Martin Patterson, mate.
Yeah. I've worked hard in the building. I've given the players everything they need. I've done this. Come on now. A big thank you to everyone that's donated tonight as well. It is massively appreciated as well. And Daniel, who also came a new member as well as that donation as well. A big thank you for everyone that supported me, not just tonight, not just this month, not just this season. A big thank you to Jake as ever for giving up his time and making me look as great as I do, because I'm just average. A comment came in saying, "You're one of the best young content creators in the league, Jake." And I went, "Thank you. I'm the best all 1-2. Thank you." I thought, they're not going to realise that's a Brian Clough comment. "Thank you. I'm the best all 1-2, son. Not the best manager in the country,
You do
but
a
I
good
am in the top
Cloughy
one."
impression. You do
What?
a good Cloughy impression. You do a
Shit
very good.
house. I just like to say a big thank you for everyone watching at home. And if you haven't subscribed, then I think you're all a blooming lunatic. So subscribe down there, son.
If I can just point everyone to the T-Lop episode that's going to come out tomorrow. If you aren't a patron already, which I'm sure there's plenty of you in here, please check out T-Lop. It was filmed at lunchtime.
It's payday for T-Lop soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it is payday for T-Lop soon.
Come on
We'd like you to go and listen. It's an hour and a half special. It's really worth your time, we think.
Who hosted it?
I don't know, some League Two vlogger.
1-0 to the League Two boys.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great deal. Lots of discussion, lots of fun. Come and become a patron, because there were lots of laughs today. And you want to have to watch T-Up rather than listen to it. So get your wallets out, and we'll see you over on Patreon. Thank you so much, Jake. This time next week, Jake will either be happy about securing a playoff space, or he'll be nursing another season in Sky Bet League One. Top form, lads. Thank you, Dan. Massively appreciated, mate. Means a lot to me, and that'll go towards Jake's breakfast. I have to buy him next time I see him. The playoff final, you mean?
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. A big over and out, and yeah, see you later. Fleet was going down. Ole, ole. I was going to play the song Down, but I can't find it. Copyright. Don't you dare play it. I'll get done for copyright. Don't you bloody dare. Shall I sing it? Down, da, 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 down. Down, da, 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 down. Down, 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 da, 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 down. Down, da, 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 down. Sorry, Ben. Shut up, you little dweeb. No one even knows who you are. Without me, they do now. Thanks, Ben. You'd be nothing without me, sunshine. I only get you on because you make me look good, and I don't have to do much prep. I can literally do half an hour prep, and still I can literally get up, speak about League One, and you make me look good, mate. I hate you, but I was going to go with him yesterday, so I'm to dress. I was going to go as you, but Halloween was in October. Yeah, you couldn't have moved your eyeball around, could you? No. I tell you what, my legs are hurting from when I had sepsis. Good job those nurses in the hospital helped me, come back from that. What do you think of nurses, Jake? Look, mate. They're a great staple to the community, aren't they? What about nurses that work in Lincoln? Some of them are all right, mate. Some of them are all right. Some that you find on dating apps. Potentially. Love life going well, then, is it, Jake? Yeah. Better than yours, Ben, yeah. Mine's going really well, thanks, mate. Mine's going really well. Is it? Can I just ask you, how long did the fourth official give tonight, Ben? We've got another minute, mate. What do we make? Should we just take it to 120? Round it off a bit. Yeah. There we go. Look. I was being stupid. I can't maths. Any comments? Oh, Ben thinks I've downloaded Grindr. That's lovely. Thanks, Ben. Tinder's a bad app, mate. Oh, Tinder. Yes, Tinder. No, Tinder's right. Yes, Michael Bowers. We do know that you are. We are still on. I believe he's a Sunderland fan, isn't he, Mr. Bowers? He is a good lad. Thank you very much for the playoff semi-finals, for giving me a very good memory. So I'm up at Shearer. I like the way you avoided the nurse situation. Last time I heard you pied you. What about women that you go into coffee shops with that you buy a coffee that go to the toilet and then all of a sudden goes away?
Yeah, no, that happens, mate. You know, that's dating for you. When you get to my age, and there are plenty of chaps in here that will tell you the same. They get a little bit flaky.
Believe me,
a bit like a 99, mate.
Believe me, you know I've.
Now, ref needs to blow his whistle here. Look, we're good. How long are you going to give?
After my last experience, believe me, they give me more mental breakdowns than Fleetwood do. Believe me. Right. Thank you for watching. Bye all.
Yeah.